Hi, I'm Paul Seal from codechair.co.uk. Welcome to this video where I want to show you how to install uSkinned Site Builder in Umbraco 9 and on Umbraco Cloud. So what is uSkinned? Well, it's a selection of themes that you pay for, but they're professional, proper made themes. So not just like a free starter kit that you install, but they've been worked on for years, and yeah, uSkinned are great. The themes are brilliant. And I'm going to install a theme today, and it's going to be, I think I want to use Yell, this one. So I'm going to install Yell on my Umbraco Cloud site. So I've got my Umbraco Cloud site here, and it's completely empty. So I'm going to show you how you go from a completely empty Umbraco Cloud V9 site to installing uSkinned and having a nice theme installed. So let's go. So first of all, then what I need to do is log into Umbraco.io. Once you log in, you get to you choose which project you want to go to. So I've clicked on Go to Project, and I'm now in CodeShare Packages V9. So in order to be able to clone this, what I want to do is click on the drop down arrow next to the live thing there and do Clone Project. I want to copy that, and then I want to go to the folder where I want to clone it to. And in here, I'm going to open Windows Terminal, and then I'm going to do git clone and paste that in. So I should have access. I need to put in my username and details. So here we are. So this is what you get when you clone down your cloud project. If it's completely empty, you get it like this. In here is the source folder, and then Umbraco project. So that's the actual web project, the V9 Umbraco project. I can use this. So if I go to cd codeshare -packages and just tab, there we go. That will get me into here. So with V9, we're using the command line a lot more. And then if I do cd source, that'll get me into the source folder. And then if I do dir, right, so we can see that cd Umbraco project. Right, so I'm in here, so I can do .NET run actually. So this will build the project and run it as the website. So this is doing it before I've done anything with uSkinned. So this is just me getting what is here in this back office like this, getting this locally on my machine. Yeah, what I really like about Umbraco 9 and Umbraco on Cloud now is that it just feels like a same project that you would have locally. It doesn't feel any different now when you're working with a cloud project. So that's really cool. Look in the background, what it's done here is it's gone off and created all of this. So if I now click on this, control click, this should take me to the back office of this website. So initializing my site, yeah, it's took me to the front end of the site. If I go to /Umbraco, oh, I can click on restore here actually. There's no content to restore, so this should be really easy. There's not even any document types. It's just literally an empty website. Yeah, it wants me to sign in. So what we're going to do next is install uSkinned Site Builder. And in order to do that, let's just go to the NuGet page. So if you find nuget.org/packages/uSkinned Site Builder, you can see here. So in .NET Framework, you would install it like this, but in the .NET CLI, you install it like this. So .NET add package, and so on. So I am in the folder, so I'm going to just do Control-C now to stop that. I'm in the folder of the Umbraco project itself. So I'm going to do .NET. Oh, I'm going to just paste this in. uSkinned Site Builder, and then press Enter. So if I do .NET Run now, that's added the package, but now .NET Run will try and build the project and run this and run the site. And when it gets to that point, that's when it tries to apply any migrations. So here we go, execute site builder migration. But what it's doing here is it's creating all the content for all the different pages. that's in it. I love it. When I see that, I really love it. And there we go. Now listening on this port. So if I refresh this, what you'll see is that we've got the site in. So we've got all the content already, already created for us. So what it just gives you all the examples that you can want. You can basically navigate around the site. So if we go to here, click on the info tab and then click on the slash, we'll go to the front end of the site, but what we'll see is no license. So everywhere says no license because at the end of the day, I've not paid for anything yet. So why should I get this for free? Because in theory, I've just downloaded it off NuGet and uSkinned doesn't know that I've done that. So what you do is you go to uSkinned and you sign up and you buy your license. If you want to try it out, I think there is a 14-day free trial and they do it hosted within their Azure. But when you've decided whether or not you're going to buy a license, I'm not here for that. When you have decided though, if you want a license or not, what you do is you go to you download the license file from within uSkinned in your members area, and then in here in Umbraco and then licenses, you paste in your license file. So I've already got one, and then at this point you need to do a restart. So I'm going to do Control C to stop this process, and I'm just going to do .NET Run again. There we go. So that's solved the no license issue. What I like about it when you install this is it's like basically the wireframe design that it comes with. So I've not added any of the themes yet, and I can add any of the themes if I want to, but it's got this wireframe one, so it doesn't really focus on design. It just focuses on elements in certain positions and things like that. So that's why it's all just black and white, and you can just go through, and it's just got very basic. These are the sort of components that you will have. This can help when you're working with a client and you're working out what you want on what pages without worrying about the design. So that's good. You can go to a page here that shows you all the different types of components that you can get, and you can click through and see the examples of those. So what I want to do now that I've got it installed and I've got my license working, I actually want to install the theme that I want to work with. So I'm building a site called Code Share Packages, and basically I just want to have a content managed site where I just put some more detail about all of the packages that I've built. So I like a theme already, and it's called Yell. So it's this one. So if you go to the uSkinned profile, you'll see all of their themes in here, and there's lots of them that you can use. So I'm going to get this one, and I'm just going to use that .NET CLI command to be able to install this. So go back here, I stop the project again, and I just paste in that from there, .NET add package, and once I've pasted it, I then need to run it again. So this is just getting the NuGet package, installing that for us, and then do .NET run. Right, we've reloaded the back office here, go to design, and what it's done is it's created a Yell theme for us. So in order to pick that theme, the current one that is picked is actually the wireframe one. So if we go into settings here, you can see the design style that is picked is wireframe. So we remove this, we go to add, and then we go Yell. Save and publish that. This is the theme that I've chosen. So this is what I'll be working with on my CodeShare Packages site. One really good thing about uSkinned Site Builder is the fact that you can tweak the design if you like as well. So you can tweak it to have whatever colors for anything. So not just colors, there's layout. You can change the padding, the logo, the colors, the spacing. All of these things you can control in here, even the fonts and the backgrounds and things like that. So I'm not going to go into it too much, but what I would recommend is if you are going to do this, I would recommend that you copy the one that got installed. So I'll go through to Yell, and then I'm just going to create a copy of this. I don't need to relate it to the original. I include descendants and I go back here and then I just select design. So I want to make a copy of that in the design folder. And then if I go in here, I've got my YEL 1. So I'm going to call this code share. So this is my code share theme. And I'm going to just publish with descendants. That was using the arrow there. It's probably behind my shoulder. Include unpublished. Oh no, include unpublished and then publish with descendants. So that makes sure that anything that came through in that copy that wasn't published is now published. Great. So now I just need to wire that up in the global again. So go to settings. And then instead of using YEL, I'm now going to use code share. So it's just more personalized to the themes that I want for this site. So and then if I ever want to just go back to the default one, the YEL one, I can. So I'm not editing the actual YEL theme. So that's the theme there. So I've shown you how you can actually edit those themes here. But what's even better than that, and really blew me away, and is probably one of the reasons why it won an award last year, is because you can click on. So if I go into Home and click on Save and Preview, it brings up the Umbraco Preview. And in the Umbraco Preview here, there we go, we've got the text and everything now. You've got this here, so you can edit the colours and you can preview the different text. Now the different text, this doesn't actually save it, but you can get to see what it's going to look like that. So I can turn that off, I don't need to edit that. But also, yeah, you've got these colours. So what was in the back office for all of the design settings here, you can actually change all of that here. So you can be changing that in real time. Let's change the main navigation link active. No, the logo. Let's change the logo color. The logo link will make it red or pink. You see that? It's changed that color up there. It's just about knowing what colors to change. And you can change the spacing and fonts and all those sorts of things. So what about the buttons? So I want the button, let's say I want the button to be a purple color, and it's done that as well. And the good thing about this is you can actually save and publish this. Not that you'd want to. Now I've just gone and ruined my theme, but it's okay. I can always fix it later. And if you go into the back office here, you'll see that it's actually updated those. And what it's actually done is just update those values. I'm not sure what that is. Oh yeah, it's just not loaded in yet. So if we go to colors, you can see the button color got changed there. So yeah, that is really good. So you get to someone who's got a better idea about design than me can go through and tweak all of these colors that came from the theme and make it their own. And if you want to, you can even just create your own designs. You can just create a design from scratch if you want to, rather than basing it on a theme that's already there. Then I'll just show you the different types of components that's on here. So if we go to components, I'm going to leave that. I want to end the preview mode. Leave. Right, yeah. So components. I'll feed this back about the layout, the colours, how it doesn't seem to work on there, but it might just be the theme colour. So yeah, we've got the accordions tabs we've already seen. So that's nice. You can use these in your site. Alert box. Yeah, the usuals. Things like this, but they're already pre-configured, already done for you, and you just get to use them. Gallery, that's nice. Yeah, there's loads to it, so I suggest you, if you install it, just have a look around. But one of the other things that I really like about uSkinned themes is their implementation of the block list, like this preview here to say it's the homepage banner, the anchors and things like that. They've really, and the detail that you see on these block list items, they've really put a lot of work into making it user friendly and to help you understand things. So they've got these they've got these settings on the block. So when you're using block list, you have the settings, and the sorts of things that they've done in the settings is like hide from website. So you can have a block here, and you choose to hide that, and then it won't show up on the front end. And I've done that as well. So when I saw that they'd implemented that, I used that on one of my starter kits and some sites that I work on. I really like that idea. There's so many different settings to look at, but and they've created their own property editors as well to make it feel like, look at this, just the content colors. It just really nice property editors. They've really gone the extra details to help you. Like all of this. This is not standard Umbraco. This is all uSkinned and what they've decided to implement. So loads of settings to play about with if you want to. You can just leave it as is and just edit the content, or you can tweak all of these different settings. Like look at this, that's a nice property editor there. They could just say have the words full, left, right, center, now, but they haven't. They've gone the extra mile to add this detail to help you to visualize the things that you're going to change. Another good thing about the uSkinned stuff and the sites that they do is I like this advanced tab. So yeah, you can change your global node. That's got global settings and things like that. You can change where, so you could have multiple sites and you could point them to, and they could have their own global settings for those sites, or they could share the same one. So you can swap that out here and pick a different one. But also we've got this disable delete, and again this is an idea that I borrowed as well. It's because who wants really to delete the homepage? It's just crazy. So the good thing about this is that if that's set to disabled as true, then when someone tries to delete, it will come up with a message, you're not allowed to delete this. If you really want to, then you should set it to disable delete to be false. So that's a nice little touch. I really like that. And then I think the next thing really would be for me to just go through and update all of my content. And when I'm happy with it, I'll push it to the cloud. So let's pretend I've updated all my content and we just want to push it up to the cloud now. So how do we do that? So we have to commit our changes. So if we go into here, we commit our changes to the Umbraco repository, and go up here, and we want to do a commit on this, and this will pick up all of those different changes here. So the fact that we've installed this, remember we pulled down an empty project and now we've installed uSkinned, so we need to push everything up. So let's do that. So I'm just selecting all. I'm using a really old, well, it's Tortoise Git. It's a bit like Tortoise SVN, but essentially I'm just pushing this up. So installed uSkinned site builder with Yell theme. Commit that and then push it up. We also need to go in and we need to queue the media for transfer and the content for transfer as well. So we'll do that as well. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to come across an error, and I'm going to show you how you get around that error. And I believe there's one more little trick I need to do as well, and that is turning debug to true. So this is just preparing the commit. While this does that, I'll show you what we need to change. So in the source, in the project, I was advised to go into here and just set app settings debug to true. We've got an issue here. Oh yeah, that worked. So I've done that, and then I want to just again commit this extra change to set debug to be true, because apparently if you do that, then it's something to do with the app plugins folder, because we've installed a theme and a package. Apparently it might not update when you on the cloud site. So if you send it up with app settings for debug set to true, and then you can always set it to false again once you've installed it. But this is just for the first install of uSkinned. So set debug to true. I'm just going to commit that. Now I'm going to push, and that will push all of the changes up to the cloud site repository. And when you're doing that, when you're working with Umbraco Cloud, what you see is these different messages that come in here. So rather than just pushing, you'll actually see some of the Umbraco Cloud work that goes on after that. So yeah, and it starts feeding back in here. You'll see it in a moment. There we go. Preparing deployment for commit, running custom deployment command, handling .NET Core web application deployment. So yeah, there's all these that you don't normally see. Right, so that says deployment successful. So at the moment, that's just all of the doc types, everything like that. There's no content or media yet. When you come to pushing the content and the media up, you might find that there's an issue. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what error you might see. So first of all, let's just queue this for transfer. Open transfer queue, and then we'll say transfer to live. Now this might come up with an error. It has, and it's saying the environment is busy with a deployment. Try again later. So that is one type of error, and maybe that's because it's so close to after we just deployed it. So I can clear that queue. Yes, I want to clear the queue. We can skip straight to what the remedy is for these types of problems. So what they do is we need to force these to be pushed up to Umbraco. We need to force it to let them know that uSkinned has actually altered these, and the way we do that is we just do a minor change to it. So I'm just going to copy and paste the name of it into the description just to force it to notice a change. And this is just literally to get around when we see a schema mismatch problem. So I'm just going to copy this is just going to make sure it forces these to go back up to Umbraco so it recognizes a change, basically. So that's the first one of these types of things we need to do. We then need to do member types and just change that member type. And I think the last thing as well is just need to go to members and go to member groups, main client, make a change on that. I'm just saving it with a space and then saving it without. And I think that's enough to force these changes. So what we should see in the in here, we should see some changes. It should notice if we now try and commit, it should see some changes and want to push those up. So it does. So that's good. It's made all those media type changes, the member group change, and the member type change. So I'm going to select all of those, and I'm just doing forcing update to cloud. So that will help us out. And then we'll push that. Right, so that's pushed those changes up. So that's good. And then we still need to push the content and the media. So we can try again for the content now. It might not like it yet because it's just done another deployment. So we'll see. Open transfer queue, transfer to live. Let's just see. Hopefully it doesn't error on us. If it does error, it will probably only be because it thinks that there's already a deployment in place. Right, that's done. Completed the transfer of the content, and we just need to do the same with the media as well. Queue for transfer, open the queue, transfer to live. And that's done as well. So in theory, we have installed it correctly. We've added the theme. We've forced the changes on those media types, member type, and media group. And so now everything should be right. So sign in with Umbraco ID on the cloud site. We've done everything locally. We did all of that stuff locally, and now we've pushed it back up to here. We just need to Control F5, just reload the back office, and there we have it. we've got the we've got everything on here. It looks like the license was invalid for some reason, but I can take that up with them. Invalid domain. Yeah, Umbraco.io is invalid. So what I've been allowed is these. So yeah, I just need to let them know that can I have a new license file that allows it to run in Umbraco Cloud with that domain. So yeah, I'll get onto them and let them know that, and they'll issue me with a new license file. One last bonus tip for you. Mark from uSkinned told me this. So if you do want to modify any of the views or the CSS or the images or scripts or the email templates, you can do, and there's just a convention that you need to follow. So this file here, the app settings, where we have where we've got this uSkinned section, there's this source code option. So what you can do is you can add another option and call it like code share. And by adding that in there, I'm not sure if it's space or not, but the example I've been given has got a space. By adding that in there, then I save that, and then what I can do is in my folder of the site, I've got in my project in the W root, I can put in the CSS where you've got a uSkinned folder, you can copy this and call it code share. Rename that code share. It just needs to be the same as whatever that was in the in there. So I've called that code share. I can go into images, copy that, and call that code share as well. Oh, F2 code share. And so that was images, and then we can do scripts, copy that, and paste it into the parent folder. Rename that and call that code share as well. And what are the other ones? Then there was email templates. Copy that one. Call that code share. And finally, partials, which is in views, partials. Copy the uSkinned one and call that code share. So now, if I ever want to modify those, instead of going into the uSkinned folder, I'll be able to edit these. And there's a final change that I need to do. So if I just restart, I think if I kill the app here, what's this doing? And I'll do .NET run again and go into the back office. There's a final change to make to tell it where the source of these front-end files are. And you do that in the theme design node. So the cool thing about that is that I created my own version of that theme design. If I go into design here, because I created a code share one. So now if I go to the advanced tab and then the front end source, I can pick code share and then save and publish that. So now if I ever want to modify any of those files, I just go into the code share version folder and edit them. I can edit them away there. So that means that any future upgrades and things like that, it won't overwrite my files, it'll just overwrite the uSkinned ones. So yeah, I think that's plenty to cover in one episode. Obviously, I'll push these changes up to there. And I might actually, I'll do it now. I'll push the changes up. And I'll turn debug off as well. And then that will be everything. So now my project is ready to go, ready to use. So added code share specific front end folders for modification. There we go. And that is everything. Yeah, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful if you're installing uSkinned as well and you've got to do it on cloud and you didn't know what to do. Hopefully this has given you the tips on what you need to do and shown you it's not scary, it's quite easy to do. And your clients, hopefully they'll be happy, or if it's for yourself, you'll be happy. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on future videos. Take care.